Welcome to Whatever You Need, where the gloss of celebrity life meets the warm, human stories behind the headlines. Today we bring you an intimate, behind-the-scenes chronicle, an event so tender and carefully staged that it transcended tabloid gossip to become, for many fans, the most romantic moment of the year. Before we begin, if you love getting the single best scoop on Turkish stars, subscribe, hit the join button to support us, and like this video so we can keep bringing you stories like this. When the first photos leaked, they did not look accidental. They looked like the last frames of a love story written over months, perhaps years, between takes and late-night rehearsals. Inside the modest confines of a production trailer, the caravan that once served merely as a practical refuge between scenes of blood flowers, Barış Baktas had orchestrated an event that the tabloids promptly christened the proposal of the season. The images that spread across social feeds, balloons in soft shades of pink, strands of fairy lights, intimate snapshots of two lives catalogued on the caravan walls, were less a leak than a confession. This was a romance that wanted to be known. It is tempting and fair to treat celebrity romances as entertainment, something to be observed from a safe distance. Yet there is something quietly compelling about an on-set location being transmuted into a private stage for a personal milestone. For Yağmur Yüksel, the trailer was not merely a prop, it was the theater of beginnings. Friends say she had, more than once and in candid conversation, voiced a wistful wish to be proposed to where the story had started. That admission was the seed of what we now understand to be a meticulously planned gesture, executed by an actor who appears determined to honor both the origin and the intimacy of their shared past. What made the moment feel authentic, rather than performative, were the careful, specific touches. Neutral observers and close sources described the space as suffused with intention, not just balloon clusters, but handwritten cards with lines plucked from private conversations, not solely flowers, but the precise bouquet Yağmur had once described as the one she would always love, not merely light, but the gentle glow of a playlist selected from songs that recurrently punctuated their interviews and on-screen scenes. It is the selection of these small things that elevates a gesture from showy to deeply personal. According to several insiders, Barış managed logistics personally, checking each element between calls and flights, refining the sequence so the reveal would feel inevitable. One crew member confided, he kept returning to the caravan as if it were a rehearsed scene, except this time the performance was for one person, not for the camera. There are whispers, too, of a short montage prepared for the proposal. Clips from their early rehearsals, first on-screen moments, candid off-camera laughter, a cinematic reminder of how fiction and reality had braided together. If true that montage was not contrived fan service, it was a deliberate mapping of the couple's shared chronology, an archival love letter that transformed public memory into private celebration. Tabloid outlets alternated between breathless admiration and invasive speculation. Who else was present? Would there be an immediate engagement? Would the caravan, that humble locus of origin, become a public shrine for fans or remain a private relic? Such questions are predictable, they are the currency of celebrity culture. Yet amid the noise, certain emergent themes felt less sensational and more human. The idea of honoring a memory, the willingness to enact a shared fantasy, the instinct to keep some witnesses to the joy limited to those who mattered most. Sources close to the couple say that Barış preferred the moment to be intimate. Rather than staging a viral spectacle, he invited only a handful of trusted friends and a few close members of the production crew, the same people who had observed the couple's relationship evolve from friendship into something deeper. The goal was smallness, not a press conference, not a staged reveal, but a recreation of a memory with a select audience. What makes this incident notable beyond its tabloid potential is its illustration of a recurring phenomenon in contemporary entertainment, audiences have long craved continuity between the stories they watch and the lives of those who enact them. When on-screen chemistry translates into a real relationship, fans interpret it as validation, a comforting narrative where fiction proves prophetic. Yet that craving is double-edged. It can generate intense adulation and equally intense entitlement, a demand that couples curate their private lives for public consumption. Barış and Yağmur's choice, to stage a proposal in the trailer that first witnessed their closeness, seems to acknowledge this ambivalence. The gesture is a public nod to private history. It neither denies fans their part in the cultural conversation nor surrenders to the spectacle. It stayed, for the most part, within a circle of witnesses who had once shared the grind of long shoots and late-night scene work. There is an ethical subtlety there, to give the public an image, and yet to reserve the sanctity of the moment for those who genuinely cared. The reaction among fans has followed predictable arcs. Many have expressed sheer delight, gifs, tears, declarations that this is the real ending we wanted. Others adopted a more protective tone, reminding followers and occasionally the press to respect the couple's privacy. In the account of a particularly vocal fan community, the caravan image became less a spectacle than a talisman, a sign that devotion could be expressed with humility rather than headline hogging. If the caravan proposal does lead to a formal engagement and subsequently to wedding plans, the trajectory seems to favor intentionality over extravagance. Friends suggest the couple is inclined toward private rituals that honor their shared history, possibly followed by a more public celebration that will allow fans to participate in some capacity. Whether the wedding will be minimal and intimate, or a larger event broadcast across platforms, remains uncertain. What is certain is that the public will watch, project, and as always, hope. Do you think proposals tied to on-screen memories feel more authentic, or do they risk becoming performative? Write your answer in the comments and tell whatever you need which romantic celebrity moment you'd like us to cover next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the join button if you want behind-the-scenes exclusives delivered to your feed. At its most elemental, the caravan proposal is a compact parable. Two people who worked long hours to create a world on-screen chose to return to the scaffold of that world to mark the beginning of a new chapter. It is a reminder that, for many performers, the spaces where art is made accumulate emotional significance. Props become relics, trailers become altars, and shared exhaustion gives way to shared dreams. For Barış and Yağmur, the caravan will no doubt be photographed, memorialized, and interpreted in countless ways. For now, though, it remains what it was for them in that moment: a room filled with pink light, the sound of a favorite song, the hush of loved ones nearby, and a question asked with palpable vulnerability. The answer, the promise accepted, is the only detail that truly belongs to them alone. If this story moved you, show your support for whatever you need, like, comment what moments you want us to investigate next, and subscribe for more star-centered features. Click the join button to support our channel and receive behind-the-scenes updates exclusive to members. Until the next story, stay curious, remain kind, and remember that sometimes the most cinematic moments happen in the smallest places.